Hello, I am coming on with a message that's coming through. So, I wasn't planning on recording, but I was getting many messages actually concerning the masculine energy. Now, there's some kind of focus on the masculine energy right now. And remember, when I say masculine, I am talking about your masculine energy as an individual. I feel like I have to plug that every time I speak of masculine and or feminine energy. Now, it can also be referred to a masculine in your life, yes. But I want you to first take it as your own masculine energy. Now, your masculine energy is the side of you, the part of you that takes action. It's the part of you that gets things done, right? It's known to be the lead. And this is also a concept that it should be explored more, because when people hear, oh, the masculine is the lead, it becomes this fight between masculine and feminine, and, the feminine doesn't want to be led and all of that. And that has nothing to do with anything. This is just the natural order of things. So, you're going to have to really remove all the beliefs that you've been given. Let me get into the message, because I got the sun. The sun was, I feel like the sun was literally talking to me, but it was showing itself. It was exposing itself to me, like it was shining bright. And it wouldn't go away. So this is the masculine, the sun and the moon. The moon is the feminine. And for those of you, if you've gotten a compatibility report and you have a moon connection with someone, that's known to be one of the strongest connections for a long-lasting relationship. If you have a moon connection with someone, it usually means marriage, or it would be a good relationship for marriage, because the moon supports the sun, right? So if you have a moon connection with someone, that means you are in that person's life to support them, to inspire, encourage, okay? Now, if the person who you are the moon to, that means that they are the sun to you. That means they would have to lead, right? Now, if you are the moon to someone, but that person who is the sun to you is directionless, and they have nothing that they're aspiring for, or they don't have any goals or objectives, and they're not ambitious, and there's nothing for you to support, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. Because that would make you the sun. If you're trying to lead someone who doesn't have any prospects, it's not going anywhere. And vice versa. If the person does have prospects and they are very ambitious, and they are very, very like a go-getter, but you are not able to support and encourage and inspire, but you're the moon to them, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So in order for these sun and moon connections to actually work and come together, the person who is the sun in the connection must have something that they're aspiring for. And the person who is the moon must be someone who's comfortable in that supporting role. Okay, so why am I saying this? This is important because you have to be able to do this within yourself first, right? So if you have a dream and you're very passionate about it and you're inspired by this dream, and you feel motivated and excited to create something, right? I'm talking about your moon here. This is the side of you that feels inspired and is feeling encouraged to create something, and you're passionate about it. Like there's some kind of spark within you that makes you want to create. Without the masculine energy, it goes nowhere. Okay? Your masculine energy. If you don't get up, take action, and get moving. It doesn't matter how inspired you are. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. And vice versa. If your masculine is very, very healthy and you're ready to take action and you're a doer and you're driven, but you lack inspiration, you lack passion for it, and you lack creativity. This is lacking the feminine. It does not work. It will go nowhere. Nova. It's a no-go. So they work together, but there is an order. There's an order. And right now, the torch has been passed to the masculine. We've been getting a lot of messages, and it's been focused on the feminine. It's now in your masculine energy's hands. It's now the masculine. We're in a time where action is needed. You need to be doing. There's no more of the waiting, be patient, sit down and allow things. Even though that's actually been mastered in many people, that energy has been mastered to where there's no need to focus on it. So it's still there, but it is in the background. Okay? So the feminine right now, your feminine energy is allowing, it's accepting, it's letting things happen. That's the feminine energy within you. And also within the collective, the feminines right now are seeing if the masculine is going to take the lead. This is where we are. The masculine has to be taking the lead. So you can't be in a weak space where you feel directionless, where you feel like it don't matter what I do, nothing's going to come of this. Okay, that is a weak masculine energy. You have to have courage. You have to be ready to go. Now, for some reason, the distorted masculine energy amongst the collective, amongst society, it's celebrated, For some reason, I don't know, and I'm not going to get into that. But weakness for some reason, not facing the truth, not seeing it for what it is, not living in reality, but living in illusion, not allowing your masculine energy, your healthy masculine energy to take charge. For some reason, that is celebrated. But getting back to the message, those who are able to face their fears, no matter what obstacles come their way, they're able to break down the barrier because of confidence, right? That's a healthy masculine. Because I'm confident that what I'm feeling so inspired to do, there's no one who can take it away from me. Because my feminine is so healthy and is encouraging me, and I feel so empowered, and I have healthy boundaries, and I love myself so much that I know that I deserve this. This is a healthy feminine here. Now it's the masculine's turn. You need a healthy masculine. Masculine energy is so important. It is the spark of life. I think people don't give the masculine energy, with what's happened for the past few hundred years in this patriarchy society. We have beaten up the masculine energy as if it's a bad guy, but we have to learn to balance what's happening here. Okay, both the masculine and feminine has been abused. We have to see it for what it is. We have to. So if you're at a healthy feminine energy, you will encourage your masculine. You will. So the masculine energy right now is on notice. It's on review. It's on stage. It's being watched. Okay? And it's the masculine energy's turn. Now, it's like coming out of a shell. It's coming out of a prison as well. It's coming out, basically. Now, change is happening. Today's daily. I didn't share it publicly, but I'll put the link down below so those of you who want to watch it, you can see the link down below. But today's daily expressed how it expressed this process, and it really is in the masculine's hand right now. There's change, action, movement. That's your masculine energy. Your masculine energy. There's action needed here. In order to bring change, there's some kind of action needed. Now, we've been getting, for the past few weeks in the daily, the mature woman. Now the mature man is coming out. Literally, the message is matching the energies. And the mature man was the main male, right, was imprisoned. But now that the mature man is showing up, I know that the main male is no longer imprisoned. There's been a breakthrough. He's broken out. He's out. And this is not him waiting for the authorities to come with the key and unlock it. No, he broke out. He stood in his power, in his confidence, and he was like, there's no way in hell I'm going to be imprisoned anymore. So he's free. He's out. There's no parole. There's no stipulation. There's no, on his own recognizance. There's no bond that had to be put up. He's out. He's sovereign. And he wished they would come try to look for him. And they're not coming to look for him because they know that he's now in his power and he realizes who he is, and they can't take that. They can't take your power once you realize who you are. So they're not coming to look for you. The masculine has been keeping himself in prison through his work, through his occupation, through the way he makes a living. That's how the masculine became distorted, because that's how the authorities, that's how the powers that be, or the powers that was, that's how they controlled your masculine energy. They kept you busy working, concerned about providing food, concerned about providing shelter. This is how they keep the masculine energy just discombobulated all over the place and confused and feeling powerless and feeling like the only power that I have is if I'm working and if I'm, making money, but under the control of someone else. Give me a paycheck and I'm fine. This is modern day slavery because it's mental slavery. The slavery that they talk about for the past 400 years, that was physical slavery, right? This is mental slavery because this is you agreeing that it's best for me. So it's the illusion that you need someone else, something else outside of you in order to be free in order to have what you need, right? So the breaking out of prison is really just you no longer allowing yourself to be mentally controlled, okay? Once you get out of that, you receive your abundance. It comes as a gift. Something is offered, is presented to you. There's some kind of abundance, but you have to be in your sovereign state. You have to be in your sovereignty in order to receive your abundance. Everything you need is always provided, but you have to not be under the control, the rulership of others. So the masculine energy is the part of you that removes you out of bondage. And that's when the gifts come. That's when you're on your path. This is when you find purpose, okay? This is when there's no more despair. This is also when you create real bonds with people that you love. This is when you actually are able to have a healthy relationship with someone. Okay, I hope y'all are following me, because this is the process of freedom. I'm talking about freedom, true freedom. It's a mental thing. Your mind can't keep going to this place of what ifs and I don't want this to happen and this is the worst case. And if you're still in that, there's some kind of bondage here, and they're trying to break y'all free from that. It's all in your head. So as you allow your masculine energy to take the lead, you are free. The feminine sets up the stage. The feminine stops forcing. Basically, the feminine stops trying to, or stops feeling threatened by the masculine. I mean, that's a part of it. It allows things to happen because it trusts. That's the side of you that trusts. It allows, it surrenders. It goes with the flow. It remains in the present. It's patient. It's allowing. It doesn't feel like it needs to guard itself. It has healthy boundaries. It speaks its truth. This is the healthy feminine. And that's what sets the stage for the masculine to be confident, to take action, to start moving forward, to break free. This is how you break free. You need both masculine and feminine energies. And the reason relationships, like romantic relationships, is the number one way that you are able to balance your masculine and feminine energy. So that's why in the messages, relationships are so prominent. Okay, because that's where you balance the masculine and feminine. But if there's this tug of war of like, no, I need to lead. No, I need to lead. That's not going to work. That's where the karmic dynamic comes. Nobody's trying to balance. Everyone's fighting. It's a competition. That's unhealthy. And just know that's happening within you. You have not learned to honor your masculine and or feminine energy. So we're on masculine energy now. At least that's where the energy is supporting, like work on self right now. The energy is supporting work on masculine right now. We've been doing the feminine for the past few years, actually. And this doesn't mean we now forget about the feminine. And this doesn't mean like the feminine doesn't matter. No, that's not what I'm saying, because it's still there in the background and it's still an area that many are working on. And even those who are at that healthy space of your feminine energy, you're still going to have to continuously work on it. Okay? Now, the feminine now, if it's healthy, is going to allow the masculine energy to lead. Point blank, period. Because it's trusting. It has learned to go with the flow. It's not in resistance. It doesn't feel like it needs to guard itself. You know why? Because it now trusts. It feels safe. The feminine feels secure within its masculine energy. So it's there, encouraging, inspiring, coming with the creative ideas, ready to be that support. And once the masculine realizes this, he's unstoppable. And I'm saying he, but that's the only way I can speak to, describe the masculine. But just follow me here. And please don't focus too much on the terms I'm using. That's how you get lost in the matrix, okay? Now, the masculine is unstoppable if it has a healthy feminine there supporting it. There's nothing that can stop that kind of union. There is nothing that can stop that kind of union. This is when you attract a healthy relationship partner, true bonds, a true bond that is unbreakable. This is a marriage. This is like a spiritual marriage. I'm not talking about 3D marriage. This is a marriage. When you create that bond with yourself and you start trusting your own masculine energy, it manifests into a person. That person walks into your life. It feels serendipitous. It feels magical. It's unexplainable. You start not giving any credence to anyone's opinions about what you got going on in your personal life, who you love. Another person's opinion means absolutely nothing. When you have manifested this type of individual into your life, you don't give two damns about anybody's opinion about your relationship. The bond is strong. This is what's happening right now. For those who are on this journey and they are loving themselves enough to trust their masculine and feminine energy within themselves. Unstoppable. No more lack. No more codependence. No more poverty consciousness. No more living in a box. A lot of you have not lived yet. It's like this life you create in a square, in a box. And you can't step out of this box. What is that? That's not living. It's not living. I can't do this because if I do this, who talks like that? That's the prison that I'm talking about. The masculine is what breaks you free out of that. The feminine starts encouraging the masculine. Hey, you ain't supposed to be here. Why are you in this box? You better than this. You deserve more than this. There's more to life than this. You gonna just sit here and take that? This ain't you. You're unstoppable. I see your potential. Believe in yourself. Don't just take this. Don't allow this to happen to you. Sit up straight. I believe in you. This is your feminine energy whispering this to your own masculine energy. And that's when the masculine say, damn, I am in a box. What is this? Why I got all these rules? Why am I even following all these rules? Who given me these rules? Who said these rules were even true? The masculine is the side of you that says, all right, I'm breaking out. So if you're in a healthy feminine space, your masculine's breaking free. You're no longer that false person. You're no longer that avatar. You're no longer in default mode. You're now your authentic self. Now I see some concern, okay? The concern is coming from this is that, it's the dawn, right? It's like, you know, when the sun is rising and it's like, okay, it's time to make the decision of what I want to do. That's that feeling of concern. It manifests into concern here in the 3D, but it is the masculine about to make a decision that there's like a point of no return. You can't go back on it. But I'm ready to do it. So yes, it's going to naturally come with concern. But guess what? Once he does that, that's the marriage. That's when the masculine and feminine energy becomes one. When you are at that brink of making that tough decision, and you know it's coming with some repercussions, you know there's going to be consequences, but your feminine energy trusts strong enough in the masculine, and the two of you become one. That's the union. That's the union. That's the divine union. The divine union happens within you first. And honestly, that's that twin flame union. It happens within you first. And once that happens, nothing else matters, because everything is now in divine order. So the masculine energy right now is taking the lead. It's making things happen. Now, you know where you are on your journey. Everybody has a different time. Everybody's time is not the same. So some people are still working on, the feminine becoming healthy, and that's okay. Some people, they masculine, been doing this for a while. And, others, they're now allowing the union. No longer judging the feminine, right? No longer judging the masculine. We understand that there's been abuse to all energies, and the abuse was coming from the outside world. But that's not an excuse, because once you realize, hey, I can take my power back, you start doing the work on self. You don't focus on the external anymore. You go internally and you start doing the work on yourself. And this is the only way to break out of this prison. This is how you get out of bondage. So the messages are going to continue to say someone's coming in, romance. When you hear this, just know that there's a union happening within you. That's what that means. That means it's manifesting into the physical. So if you are a masculine, okay, now I'm going to talk about now, like, relationship wise. If you play the masculine role in a connection, or if you feel that you are masculine predominantly, right? It's time for action. If you don't feel like it's time for you to take action, that's okay. You may still be working on your feminine energy, because the feminine is the side that sits and waits. It allows. It goes with the flow. It's patient. But just know, when you're in that kind of work, when you're in that part of the journey, you're still allowing, you're still working on your feminine energy. Okay? And that's fine. In a connection, if you plan to, or if you see yourself as predominantly the masculine, and this is not gender specific, okay? If you see yourself as the masculine, you will be the one that gets things moving. You spark the change. Fire. The most masculine energy. You get the ball rolling. You're also the one that feels motivated and driven to get things to happen. Now, that's for those of you who feel like you have a connection with someone specific. And if you are, like, waiting for someone new to come into your life, as soon as you meet the feminine, you'll know her. The masculine recognizes the feminine first. And in these type of connections, it's love at first sight. And it's the masculine that recognizes his feminine. And as he treats her, as she knows she deserves, she knows who he is. Now, I want y'all to know, a lot of these connections, what we're doing with all the work that's happening now, is we're healing what happened during the fall of Atlantis. And a lot of those memories are coming back. And what happened was the feminine and the masculine, they were disconnected during the wars, those wars. And the feminine went through a lot of abuse. And her masculine wasn't there to fight for her. So the masculine has dealt with that, knowing that he wasn't there to protect her. And the feminine had to rely on other things. So this has a lot to do with what we're healing and why the feminine is so suppressed and why society became so patriarchy. During the fall of Atlantis, during the wars, that's when the separation happened. A lot of masculine and feminines were separated, and the masculine was not there to save the feminine. So this is deep stuff. It goes, back eons and eras, actually. And the masculine dealt with that guilt of knowing he wasn't there to protect. And this is why many feminines are still healing, feeling safe and secure in the presence of a masculine. And that's probably one of the first red flags for a feminine. I don't feel safe enough to tell this person my secrets. I don't feel safe and protected and secure in this connection. These are red flags for feminines, because that means this is not the one if he doesn't make me feel safe. And it's not that it's that person's responsibility to do it, but when you are in alignment, this naturally occurs. I have to make a point of that. When you're in alignment, it's not like it's my goal. It's not like the masculine is saying it's my goal to make you feel safe and secure. No, it naturally happens because of the natural order and everything is in alignment. It naturally happens. And it's not like the feminine comes in saying, you need to make me feel like this. No, that's still codependency. You're still healing if you come in with that mindset. It's like you forget that you want safety and security when you're in the presence of your masculine. Because it naturally happens. You're naturally secure and safe. You just feel it because you were able to create that within yourself first. You were whole within yourself first. So you weren't looking for safety and security through someone else. Okay? Now, as these unions come together, something happens in the cosmos. Something shifts. And the masculine is on notice here. The sun was bright. And the sun is bright. The moon, it's a dim light. Because the feminine trusts the masculine to take the lead. The feminine, the moon, supports the masculine, the sun. The sun rules the day and the moon rules the night. So the sun is out there. It's up front. It's the side that everyone sees, and is aware of. It's up front and center. The moon, those things that you can't see, the moon is at night. That's the feminine energy. It's the intuitive part of you. It's the, I guess you could say, the side of you that can see those things that the sun is not really too aware of. This is teamwork, y'all. This is yin and yang. This is balance. And you have to find this within yourself. And you're unstoppable. So allow your masculine to lead. And I use that word lightly. Don't read too much in the word lead, because that's how you get off track. You focus too much on these words. We're just here to balance out this. Literally, what we're balancing is the universe, honestly. But you do it within yourself. Everything that is done at a micro level is also macro. Okay? So we're doing, what's happening with us is happening everywhere. So as you do the work on yourself, you're helping the collective, the big picture, okay? Expansion is happening right now. There's an expansion happening. So the link for today's daily, if you're interested, is in the description box. And I've been noticing that many of you have been watching old videos that's been posted 2 years ago, and and this is good because it's leading you all to see messages that you may not have watched. Those of you who have not been following me that long, there's many messages that are coming up as relevant right now. I'm going to start sharing them. Okay, there's like many messages. The dailies playlist, you can actually go back years and watch many of the dailies, because I'm not posting as much as I used to. But that doesn't mean that there isn't content, okay? And I like that many of you are actually exploring and seeing many of the videos from years ago. And I'm seeing you all's comments of how relevant it is to your life now, because the messages are timeless, okay? So I'm going to leave it there. It's just the masculine energy keeps coming up. And I was led to just, start talking on the masculine and what I'm getting. So the unions are happening. It's happening within you, and then it manifests, okay? Have a good day, and I'll talk to you all soon.